We kind of late here getting started, but damn, we got a power drunk fool. A power drunk fool. And it is he just he down there by Lago golfing. He said, damn them people, let them deal with that shit. He telling the American people and stuff, y'all go out there and eat dirt. You don't need no chicken and stuff and everything. Eat the bones. Eat the chicken feet or the head. That's all we'll leave y'all to have. Chicken feet and the head. But some of us make do, man, with chicken feet and heads. What you got, Ted?
Grover Norquist. And we shall move products overseas.
All right. We'll see you guys on the back end here. Bye.
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
All right, folks, we are here. Things are going along pretty quick here. Today's Friday. And man, that old boy dropped a turd on the White House lawn and took his diaper off and took a shit on the White House lawn in the Rose Garden and left it there for us to pick it up. Man, is this thing causing some mess around the world. Everybody is upset with that diaper down wearing son of a gun. But we got to deal with it. We can't just sit back and everything and cry and do anything. Just get up, people, and start doing something a little bit differently than you did last week this time. Do something a little differently than you did last week sometime. Like the Prime Minister up there in Canada says, yesterday was yesterday and today is today. Whatever we had going on yesterday is no longer going to be going on today or in the future. So let's prepare for a future that has changed. The only thing I can say, that's a good idea. We're going to move ahead. And there's going to be some winners and there's going to be some big losers. And I'm just hoping and praying and stuff that the big loser is not here in the U.S. and the folks and stuff who are struggling and trying to make it. A lot of folks out here is hurting, and this stuff right here that he done created, this stuff is going to hurt them even more. But like the old boy said, y'all eat cake. Oh, Ted, Grover Norquist, man, why did you bring that son of a gun up? I thought he was in the past somewhere and everything. You got to bring him up.
Well, you know, I've been following him for years. He's under the shadows now. He's kind of old now. he started his organization called the American for Tax Reform, ATR, in 1985. And back in the day, he used to demand every Republican sign this tax agreement, no new taxes, cut taxes. And if you didn't sign that, then they coming after you, because he's a lobbyist. And supposed to be a Republican conservative, and but very controversial. And he's really a big time activist when it comes to these taxes. You know, when you think about taxes, when I think about taxes, it's frightening. Because I remember, and I'm gonna tell this story, and it's not a story, it's just people. I remember when they came after Joe Louis, they came after Jesse, the track star, what's his name? Jesse, I can't believe I can't remember his name. But then they came after Muhammad Ali, they came after Isaac Hayes, on and on. They did that all in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and somewhat 80s. Something happened because we got more black millionaires than we ever had. So something has happened. They're not coming after black people no more. Only unless you deliberately try to dupe. Because they used to come after them. Now we have people in the White House, they want to cut everything. They even want to get rid of the IRS. You're talking about people getting rid of, more states are talking about no more state taxes. People are considering no more property taxes. All of these things, I don't know if they're good or bad. You know, when you look at it, you know, they even talking about getting rid of paying for Social Security and Medicare. Now, I don't know how serious they are about it, but that's their desire. They don't want no more. They don't want government at all. So, and the reason why you have government so you can have law and order. So I looked up and I said, well, who's going to take care of security? Well, do you know that we have almost like 2 million people that's in the military? And, you know, we got National Guards, we got over 1 million police officers, we got over almost 140,000 FBI, probably about 50,000 CIA people. Then we got 17 security agencies that protect us around the world. We have security guards and people that are specials, people that individual security. All of these things, when you boil it all down, there's probably about 10 million people that we deal with protecting the people in this country. And I said that to say this, is that we are a free country. We're supposed to be a free country. And the way we make money is through goods and services. And the thing is that we are pretty much at the apex of employment in this country, because we have over 70 million people, pretty close to 80 million people that do not work, or they work part-time. So the point is that I'm making is that here we have all the security. We have almost 80 million people that are retired or disabled. And we only got 165 million people working. But yet still, they want to bring in, they claim, more factories and all that. But we are not factory people.
Got
We
a
don't have the
question.
skills.
Got a question here. I've been
Yes.
sitting here bouncing my head around. I got a question here. I got
Go
a
ahead.
question. What does this have to do with Grover Norquist?
Well, when you think about it, when you don't have services, what I mean by services is that when you have factories, that means you have to have regulations to protect the people. Those regulations are those people that is in charge of making sure that there's nothing going on, that everything is safe for those workers working in the factory. That's the reason why a lot of them left, because it was too much regulation. You had to protect the people. So now who enforces that? All of those different agencies. Now you get rid of those agencies, then these manufacturing companies will run amok. The protection of the people, the worker, who right now, is pretty much, most of them are making a decent salary, $26, $30 an hour, some of them $50 an hour. So that's where it goes with him. If you keep not having funds available to pay these people to regulate. Now, a lot of times people say, well, it's too much regulation. Yeah, it might be to a certain degree. But you need these people to protect people. Look what's been happening as of late.
Well, wait a minute, hold it. What does this have to do with Grover Norquist? His philosophy. I'm trying to put this together here. How does Grover Norquist fit into what you were saying?
Well, he's an activist.
Okay, go ahead.
Now,
And that's Grover Norquist now, and his thing was taxation. So
well, it's not just
no
taxation.
taxes. And so I'm wondering, how does what you were saying and stuff about factories and all this other stuff have to do with Grover Norquist and how his philosophy as far as taxes?
Well, when you don't have taxes, then you don't have able to have certain services.
Go ahead.
So now I don't know all the different mechanisms in the government as far as different services that are available. Like you take EPA. EPA within itself has all kinds of protective services that they go around and look and make sure that the water is clean in your area, that you're not wasting, dumping stuff in the rivers and those types of things. That takes tax dollars. Those people are not producing anything. What they're doing is they're regulating, they're overseeing and making sure that you're not damaging the air, to make sure that you're not damaging the water, to make sure that you're not doing certain things as far as the people. So when you're not, people are not being taxed properly, then you're not going to have those services. And that's his goal. That's his organization's goal, and a few others. He's not the only one. They do not want any taxes. Only thing taxes they want is for military. All these other services is nothing. They don't mean nothing. They don't care. You have to have regulations on people building homes to make sure they're doing the proper things in homes so that the homes don't blow up. If you don't have regulations, then therefore the people are not safe. It might be tedious. It might be annoying to a large degree because, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that because of this or because of that. But the point is that a life is a life. I can tell you right now, in the last 6 months, we've had about 2 or 3 houses blow up. They don't even know why. Oh, it was a gas problem. That's the only thing they say. It was a gas problem. We don't know how that house, why did that house blow up? Why did that building fall down? Was it because somebody didn't do the codes correctly? That's the thing that Norwich is fighting for, so that you won't have the services that are available to protect you. That's the relationship.
Well,
and some of these people go overboard, but then at the same time, we have a lot of things that we have to be thankful for because we do have a lot of people that we're regulating.
if I am going to relate Grover Norquist and his philosophy back then, as far as as how he controlled the Republican Party, and what you see going on now in the Republican Party, I think old Grover would be damn pissed off at all them fools who have allowed the American people to be taxed. Because all of these tariffs and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that Grover Norquist knew this back in the 80s when he was at his heyday, understood that a tariff is a tax. And if he came on today and he brought himself up there, I know damn well that he would be very, very pissed off at the Republicans and stuff and everything because they have allowed this knucklehead president to tax their people. Because the tariff that's going on right now, that he is increasing on, everybody is sitting out in the Rose Garden, we're sitting there clapping. They have, in essence, been taxing the American people. And I believe he knows this, because I can't believe that he can't get this into his thick skull that what people are saying and stuff about tariffs is not taxes. And the bulk of the people who are the 99% of those folks and everything out there, because that 1% don't care about them little taxes there that they're going to get, because they're going to get a lot more. But the everyday person, the one who's getting Social Security checks, the one who's sitting down there barely making minimum wage and stuff, are going to be taxed if they want to continue to buy goods and services and stuff that are coming into this country. We're going to pay it. That's a tax. I think Grover would be pissed right now. He'd be turning over in his grave.
Is he still alive? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard a word from him at all in a long time, because I had forgotten about him until Lawrence O'Donnell brought him up a couple of days ago on his show. Huh?
Did he bring him up?
Yes, Lawrence O'Donnell did. He brought him up. He did a segment of his show about Grover Norquist, because what had happened was Lawrence O'Donnell at that time was a page in the Senate, and he himself was helped to usher in a gasoline tax, a 4-cent gasoline tax, and Grover Norquist went berserk. And he told every last one of the Republicans that they better not sign for that, and they didn't. But the Democrats pushed a 4-cent gasoline tax through to tax the people 4 pennies a gallon on gas, and he went crazy. And that's why Lawrence O'Donnell brought it up, because he was correlating this tariff tax on what the heck Grover Norquist did, who was a Republican back then, who didn't even want a 4-cent tax, gasoline tax, on the people.
Well, I'm gonna take another bite at this apple here.
Okay.
Here's what I think. And I can remember this riding on the bus in Chicago when I was working as a bus boy.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read the paper every day. And in the business section, there was a section on there that said imports for Japan. Imports, total imports. And they'll give you a list of all the imports that came in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're talking imports, people like to buy cheap stuff. And you remember when they used to ship all that little garbage stuff here.
Absolutely.
And people buy all their little raggedy
Absolutely.
toys and all that kind of stuff.
And they would break. And they would break, but they were cheap.
They were cheap. Now, the thing is, this is what I'm saying. We've been trying to break China for 50 years.
Or longer. Or longer. Go ahead.
And to get that market share. Now, the thing is, okay, you look at India, we sort of kind of penetrated that quite a bit. Saudi Arabia, certain other parts of the countries, Abu Dhabi and all those places. All over the world, we businesses, when I say we, I'm talking about corporations, international corporations. They have moved in the 80s, moved their businesses, half of their businesses overseas. Now, and that means that they employ hundreds of thousands, I dare say millions of people working for these international American companies. And they're doing business over there and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the point is that most of those businesses are American businesses that ship to us because it was cheaper to make.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what they're doing, what you said, now you can call it a tax, or what you can call it, what I call it is a get over for the government. That's what I call it. It's a get over for the government to say that if you're going to ship your stuff over here, even though you got your company over, part of your company over there, we're going to charge you 25, 30% extra.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ever look at the total of the number of tariff money that's being paid out to the government,
Mm-hmm.
that's another form of income for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they do with that money, I have no idea.
They're gonna put it in their coffers so they can give these folks a tax break.
But what I'm saying is, what have they been doing it prior to that?
It wasn't as much money. That money that they were charging, because ever since 2017, 18, when Trump was having that fight with China, he put, I think it's a 10 or 15%. He finally got it down to, he finally brought it, he took it 30%, then he brought it down to 15% tariff on China's goods. So at that time, they never took that tariff off of China. It still stayed there.
Right.
But China could afford to send their goods over here and still make a profit and stuff, because that little 10% tariff that they had put on their products and stuff didn't hurt them that bad. So now the reason why China is paying 54% tariff and everything is because they included that 15% that there was already there, and they added on the other 34% and everything and stuff now. So they're paying almost 54% tariffs and stuff on their product as it's coming into this country,
Well, what do
which
you
is a
think
tax.
is the let me ask you a question. What do you think is the total export that we do?
They only, according to what China has done, they put a tariff on all of United States goods coming into their country, and there's only amounting to, like I said, 34 or 40 billion dollars. That's it. And we are importing $459 billion worth of China stuff. That's what we're getting from
I'm
them.
talking about worldwide.
I didn't even look at worldwide. I wasn't even concerned with anybody other than us in China.
Well, it's not just China, it's worldwide.
Whatever.
Because
China has, like you just said, almost a billion people, probably over a billion people who they have to put to work. So they have to put their people to work to make a product, and they're shipping their stuff out to these countries. They're shipping it to Canada. They're shipping it to Mexico. They're shipping it to Africa. They've created a market for their products, so to get it out. And the United States is taking a huge sum of it. These other countries probably are not taking anywhere near that from them. But they've done a pretty good job, Ted, of using the trade agreements and the trade going on to keep their folks working. And I understand in a way and stuff why uh, Trump wants to even the playing field. But I didn't think that what he has done was, like I said earlier before the show started, he took a sledgehammer to a Swiss watch. There was some tweaking that he could have done and stuff and everything to get caught up. But what he has to deal with and stuff is that that surplus that we've got of their goods coming into our country. We're the ones and stuff who created that, not China. They made the product, and we saying we want it, and the people in this country is buying the products, just like we did when we were little kids. And their toys came in here, and 90% of them toys that our parents and stuff bought for us for Christmas time said "Made in China." Made in China. They bought it because it was cheap. Now they could have bought the toys from Fisher Price or whatever, but their toys was maybe $3 or $4 more than the China toys. So they say, hey, I'm gonna save some money. I'm buying this stuff, the Chinese stuff, and my kids are gonna be happy for 2 weeks, but they're gonna break it. So hey, that's what it all bounces. And we've been doing this, Ted, for a long time.
yeah.
And we're in a negative as far as the imports that are coming into this country from China. That's our
Well,
fault.
well, here's the thing. What you say is correct. It's our fault. But those markets for our goods, they're not allowing into other countries because
That's
because they're not they're not buying our products. Like right
Right,
now,
because it's too expensive to buy it. And I can't blame them. Our products are too expensive. We have to figure out a way and stuff to make the dollar cheap. And they don't want to do that because they don't want to cheapen the dollar. Because if they cheapen the dollar and stuff, then the international folks and stuff will not use the dollar as the major trading currency and stuff for any country in this world. So they don't want to drop the dollar too far. So you got to keep the dollar up. So you caught between a catch 22. Our products is cost more money because it costs us more to produce it. That's why you find that, and you look in these industries and stuff that we have going on in our country. Anything that we're making here now, Ted, part of them things and stuff that we're making comes from outside this country. You know that. That's what's going on with the auto industry. That's why they're shipping parts from Canada and Mexico back and forth across the border so we can make a daggone car here in the United States because our parts come from these other countries. Anything that we make here, a lot of that stuff is made outside this country. And then they ship the parts in, we'll take it, put it together and stuff, and sell it. There's companies and stuff here, Ted, that decided that the unions have been so strong and their wages and stuff that they're paying and stuff that they can't pay these wages. So what they're allowing to happen and stuff is they're allowing the companies to hire lower income folks to come into the same plant and work alongside unionized people and non-union people are working in the plant. The ones who are non-union doing the same job that the other people who are union folks, and the union folks making more money, and the young non-union people and stuff are not. The union people are making $30 an hour. They only give them 10.
well,
They got them working in the
besides the
plant.
auto
So
thing, you know, a
right,
lot of
so they
people,
can. That's
a
not
lot of
only in the
people,
auto company.
yeah,
That's in some other companies too. A lot
wait a
of these
minute, wait a
companies are
minute,
doing this.
wait a minute. There's a lot of people saying that the autos are a big deal, which is, I mean, it's $1 trillion business for the American companies. It's $1 trillion business as far as our GDP. However, the point is that when you look at what we have to offer, there's a lot we have to offer, but you know, and they're using certain segments of our uh, American companies to spread that overseas. Like, you know, you're talking about the AI, you're talking about financial services, you're talking about farming, you talk certain things that we have available. But here's the thing. Our GDP right now is about $27 trillion. China is 18, maybe right around 20. The question is, when you're talking about 340 million people versus 1.4 trillion, that means you have triple the workforce. So the point is that to keep up, to be number one, we are the most successful country in the world with only 165 million workers. And the reason why we are that, because what they decided to do in the 80s is to take a lot of those companies and take them overseas.
We talked about that, but what are the points that you're trying to make right
The
now?
point, well, the point is that when you're talking about exporting, we don't have a lot to export because a lot of our businesses are already overseas doing business with these people around the world.
Okay, so what's wrong with that?
Ain't nobody saying anything was wrong with it, but what I'm saying is that here's the big caveat to me. This is my personal thing, that what the problem is. When you do not completely educate all your people, fairly to get degrees. There was a movement back in the 80s and 90s to do that. And for some reason, it got cut off. It's still going on to a certain degree. But, you know, we needed more engineers, more lawyers, more doctors, more all of that. But the point is, and more scientists and all that. But the point is that when you do not educate all of your people, and when I say all, I'm talking about Black people, because 60 years ago, we only had 20, we didn't even have 20 million people of origin of Latino descent. Now we got over 100 million people in this country. But they did not, a lot of Black folks got educated, a lot of Black folks got their degrees, a lot of Black folks, you know, tried to go to college and do this and do that. But when you do not educate from kindergarten to high school properly, and what they call from classroom to prison, that's why we're in the shape we're in right now, because they have negated, I don't know how many geniuses, how many scientists, how many doctors, how many engineers, by not properly educating these children. So now we got an innovative problem. So now where are they getting all their innovation from? Overseas.
Yeah, and it's happening right now. So what's the problem? We got to deal with it. We know that there are some people in this country, a huge majority of them, who are uneducated. So what do you do with them? What do you do with them now? They are here.
They putting them in jail, bro.
And whatever, but they are here. But you're going to have to deal with them at one point in time or another. You're going to have to deal with them. But right now, we got a problem and stuff and everything because there is a trade thing going on that is creating problems for the people who have been educated and who have been working and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Those are the ones that I'm talking about, not those
Well, here's
under.
here's the thing. Here's the thing here. When you say, here's the thing. Those people, see, everything is based on income. You know the middle class, the lower class, the upper class, the 1%ers, and all that.
Mhm.
So the thing is that the movement now, if you're not making $120,000, $150,000 as a working person, you're not in that upper middle class.
Okay.
So the lower class are the people that's making 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 or less.
Okay.
So now the thing is that there are people, 70,000. If you're single, you by yourself, you probably can make it pretty good by yourself. But when you start having a family,
Mm-hmm.
but now that's when the two incomes come in if you get married and all that. But let's say you're just out there. The point is that every single person is not going to be making that kind of money, $75,000 to $120,000.
True.
So now you got the working class, that those jobs are going to be no more.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Who wants to work for $15,000, $20 an hour, bro?
That's because they have other jobs coming in, Ted, does not mean that they're going to lower the wages and stuff and everything. Again, they still can make $40,000 or $50,000 or $150,000 a year. They still have the capabilities of doing that. Just because they brought in other means of doing stuff. We have artificial intelligence that has come into being right now. Back 15, 20 years ago, they had robots that came in and everybody was all up in arms. Oh man, the robot's going to take our job. It hasn't. It created more jobs. We've got over 4 or 5 million jobs and stuff that we cannot fill. Can't fill them. Don't have enough people to do it. That's why they bring in people outside the country and stuff with these degrees and stuff to do these jobs. And they're paying them good money to do it.
Moving on. You
And
know,
your unemployment thing, according to the last numbers they got, is only 4.3%, which is not that bad.
well, that's for right now. That right there is not including.
Yeah, it is. It is for
It's
right
not
now,
including
but
everything.
it's showing you it is 4.3%.
Well, we'll
It's
see what next month.
4.1 last thing. So the unemployment level is still there. And all those folks and stuff that they're putting out of work, putting out of jobs and stuff, if they do
That wasn't counted, Ed.
they re-educate themselves a little bit and everything, they can go right back out there and be absorbed into the private industry. But we have a mess going on with this tariff stuff, which has brought the price of items that we are buying every day up. And the money that is coming in from the tariffs are going to be put into the trough, and they're going to count that toward giving these folks a cut down to 14%.
I agree to that.
That's what they plan on doing. And they're going to they have taxed us to do that. And most of the folks and stuff here in this country and stuff are going to be taxed. Now, the people in the upper middle class can probably pay that daggone tax for the goods and services that they are going to be receiving. But a whole lot of us, Ted, are not going to be able to afford that tax. And there's a lot of companies and stuff who cannot afford that tax. They can pay it and stuff and everything to bring it in, but they can't pass that 50-some% increase in the cost of their products along to their customers, their consumers. They're not going to do it. They don't want to do it. So a lot of people are going to go out of business. The farmers, they can't pay that 30-some% tariff on the fertilizer that's coming in that they need from another country. You're not going to be able to pay that 30-some% for the electricity that's coming in to this country.
Well,
that we're getting from Canada.
Now, according to all of, I listen to Fox News Business Channel, they saying that this is a negotiation tactic.
No, he didn't say it was negotiation.
This is a negotiation tactic.
He didn't say that. He said he was going to enact a tariff, and he did not give people
that want to not charge us tariffs.
But most of them, Ted, hasn't been doing that. It's the only one, the bad player and stuff, has been China. They got one country.
Europe too, bro.
Huh? They got one country. Big China just sends in 400. They almost send in $500 billion worth of goods into this country. That little bitty stuff that's coming in from the European Union is a drop in the bucket, man. They pay that out for chump change. And we have an open border with Canada and Mexico. Until he destroyed that, they wasn't hurting us. The border was open. Matter of fact, he negotiated the trade agreement. He negotiated and then called it bad. How you going to negotiate something and then turn around and call it bad? He sat down there and destroyed an excellent trade back and forth across the border, almost open border and stuff to bring stuff back and forth across the border. You created that.
Here's the twist of it all. China do not want American companies to infiltrate China.
Then that's our fault and stuff, because just like I said, these are American companies. If they want to go over to China and get screwed, then that's their problem. They have other opportunities, just like you just said. They got India sitting over there with just as many damn people over there in India that they can go over there and put their factories and stuff into and do the same thing they've been doing there in China.
And
They got a choice to do it. That's
Apple,
their problem, not ours.
Apple has already been trying to do that.
Right. Apple has done it. They moved a lot of their manufacturing over to South Korea, and they moved it into Vietnam.
Yeah.
And they're moving some of it down into Mexico. They just built a plant down in Mexico to do that. So, in essence, what I'm saying, if Apple can do it, why can't them other companies and stuff do it? That's what I'm saying. That's their problem. They don't have to do that. They can move it away from them.
Well, I've always said this for years, in my opinion. When the American people decided to start doing things over there with China, they tried to get the market share. They're looking at the market share.
They chose that, Ted. They chose that.
And it didn't, they lost.
This was not the American people who did it. The businesses did it. Not us, not the consumer who is paying that tax now. That's my point. They're not, it's not our fault. And we are being taxed for that. If these companies decide that they want to leave out of China and go to another country, they are free to do it. They're free to do it. Vietnam would love them. Thailand would love them. South Korea would love it. All them other little small countries over there would love it. Indonesia would love it. They would love to have that stuff, them moving their products over there into their country. Please come there. They probably begging them to do it. We'll give you a better deal than China, but they chose to stay with China. That's their problem, not ours. That's my point. Okay, what else?
Well, when you look at the stock market, what the hell is going on?
It's that tariff, man. That tariff has caused that problem. These companies and stuff know that this stuff is going to create a monster because you sat here and you done brought the fight out of China and then brought other people into the fight. When you bring in the entire world into your fight, then you creating a problem.
Yeah. The reason why I said that is that when you got people selling off shares like it's candy, millions, trillions of dollars, where they putting that money in? Where that money going?
It's going into their pockets, and they're waiting.
Where?
They're waiting
that
on
kind
a
of money.
fire.
Where is it? Where are they putting it?
They're waiting on a fire sale.
I'm trying to figure out. They moved it. Did they keep it with their stockbroker? Did they put it in a special bank that they own? Where did they put that money?
That money is being put away into some foreign country so they can have a fire sale in just a little bit. In just a little bit.
What we're talking? We're talking buy low.
We're talking big fire sales.
Well,
these companies in this country are going out of business. They can't afford that tariff. They are going to go out of business. When Tesla and Elon fall apart, they are going to go out of business. Somebody needs to have some cash to buy their company.
You think Tesla going out of business?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes. He just
Y'all heard it from Ed
he
Bishop.
just holding on.
Dr. Ed Bishop said Tesla
Dr.
is going out of
E.B.
business.
Dr. B says Tesla's going out of business. If they don't get him out of that thing, that company, they are going out of business. And
So you think he should get fired?
not fired, sell it.
Well,
Sell his shares.
he only owned 12% of the company.
Well, sell it. Get away from it. Then they will survive. If he gets away, they will survive. But as long as he's staying there, they're going under because his name is on there. When they see Tesla, they see Elon Musk doing a swastika and a Nazi sign. That's all they see now. That's swastika. They don't see Tesla anymore. They see their swastika. Him sitting up there with their swastika. That's all they see now. That's why they messing with him. That's all they see. Tesla, Elon Musk. Get them out of there. They're going to go broke. If they don't get them out of there, all them shareholders who got them stocks and everything, they're going under.
Man, look at here.
And somebody, Ted, is going to buy Tesla, and they're probably going to change the name. And they're going to get back out there and sell them electric cars.
Let me tell you something. NVIDIA right now is $94 a share.
Okay.
But wait a minute. 52-week high, 153.
Okay. It's going to reach a point, Ted, where they're going to turn around and somebody is going to buy up a lot of that damn stock. They done took that money away that they got and they're going to buy that stock.
Here's a good one for you. Palatine, you know, the one, the facial expression.
Mm-hmm.
They were 125. Now they're down to, what is it? He's down to $73.
At some point, somebody going to buy that stock. They're going to turn around and they're going to buy it up at a fire sale. I told you, they're waiting on that fire sale, Ted.
I'm telling you, bro.
They're waiting on that fire sale.
They're selling this stuff like it's going out of style, bro.
They're going to buy it at a fire sale. They took all that money and sold it at whatever price they sold it at, and they're going to turn around when that summer going to hit rock bottom, when they can't get any further. Somebody going to buy that stock.
And it lost $28 already today.
Somebody going to make some money. Somebody going to make some money. As soon as it bottoms out, somebody going to come up there and they're going to turn around and buy up millions of shares of that stock, and they're going to make a killing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got any money, Ted, when that something going to hit that rock bottom, you better get in there and start buying.
I don't play them games.
You don't play them games? Okay. Well, tell your friends then who got some money then, buy that stock up. And I'm going to tell all them folks out there in the Midwest, all them farmers that with them 2,000 acres of land and 1,500 acres of land, people, y'all got some money. If y'all got some money, you can buy up a huge tract of lands and stuff, rich farmer land, that you can take that land and buy it and rent it out to somebody and stuff so they can farm it and give you some money off of it. Yes, sir. That's what some of them folks Ted is waiting on, for that stuff to drop out, and they got that money that's sitting up there and everything. Woo-wee. They're gonna buy it at the fire sale.
You know what Warren Buffett has, don't you? He got $300 billion in cash.
Oh man, Warren, if he's still breathing now, because he that boy, I don't know, he's 90-something years old now. If he's still breathing, he might not be breathing tomorrow because his days is numbered. It all depends on the Lord if they want him to stay here and stuff. That $300 billion might go to his sons and daughters or whatever and everything, and they're going to have to figure out what to do with it. Because he might not make it. Shoot. He might not get a chance to get in on that good deal.
Well, look here, man. My final word is this.
Go ahead.
American people tomorrow is going on a big, whatever they call it, protest, whatever. It ain't, it'll be a big show. Millions of people around the country, and I dare say the world. Now, whatever they protesting or whatever they protesting about, I don't know. But it's probably a lot of things that they protesting. A lot of things that are happening. However, they don't care. I'm going to say it again. They don't care. You should have went out there and voted the right way. They don't care. I said it. So you can protest all you want. You can march all you want. The name of the game is vote. Because they don't care. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they do. They don't care. And the news people don't even cover it. People have been protesting for the last, I don't know how long, and they don't even cover it. You got to go on YouTube to find it. The only person I've seen cover it is Rachel Maddow. That's it. They don't care. You should have voted for your best interests. Don't mean the Democrats is perfect, but they care about most of the people, majority of the people. That's my last word.
Okay, my last word is you folks get your money, put it together, because they got some fire sales coming. They got some fire sales coming. Y'all got some money, put it together. They got some fire sales coming. There's gonna be some good deals out there somewhere. They're going, and as soon as they drop as low as they can drop, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna come along and say, well, I made a mistake, and take all of them away. Take it all away. I ain't gonna do that no more. Everybody out there in the world and stuff, we're gonna straighten this stuff out. I'm taking it all away. And all his friends out there gonna be sitting out there with all that money and stuff that they got built up. And your boy, who you saying he was? Peter Thiel. And then he got another old boy and stuff. Man, what's that old boy's name? He was oh man, they said he was gonna make him the media empire. He's gonna be part of the media empire. What's his name? Daggone. Oh shoot, it's on the tip of my tongue there. Anyway, he got a old man out there and stuff. He's a billionaire too. And they already predicting that Trump gonna make him more richer. He's gonna be rich. He might take over the number one spot.
Trump is gonna be the richest man in the world.
Yeah. Well, he done. Ted, there's a audio out that most people and stuff trying to hide it, but they got Eli sitting in the presidential office and everything, and he's on his knees crying to Trump. They bothered me. I started picking up, man, but I said, no, I ain't gonna bother. I don't want to see that grown man cry. They said he cried in Bakhmut, and they got the audio of it. Somebody got it and found it, and they got it, and they passing it around to everybody. That's why you ain't seen that old boy, because they just saw it out there, and he cried like all get out. And now Trump telling them, well, he ain't gonna be around very much longer.
I would have spent that.
Not gonna
What
be
he, what
around
he
very
gave
much
him that
longer.
$30 million.
He's out there crying on Trump's shoulder. Oh, oh, daddy, now, diaper daddy.
He done made
They
people
hurt
mad,
me.
bro. He got people,
They
a whole
hurt
lot of
me.
people mad at him.
Huh?
Elon Musk made a whole lot of people mad at him, bro.
Oh yeah, and he in there crying it down. He telling Dow, I need some help, and Dow said, I can't help him. So now he done gave him up. Now you pat him on the head. You can go head on now.
And then
And then he
Trump,
come out and said, well, don't worry about Elon. He'll be gone by May.
but Ed, Trump gonna come out probably next week and say,
He called.
scratch the whole deal.
Scratch the whole deal. Scratch the whole deal. I done did enough damage. Scratch the whole deal.
He love it. He got so much power.
They
now,
done paid
man, all he
him.
gotta do.
They already called him up and say, hey man, you give it, we gonna get a piece of this profit here. Scratch the whole deal.
Playing people like a fiddle.
Yes, sir. They gonna slide a couple of $1 billion over in his corner somewhere and wait till he leave office. He can go over there and live like a king. Yeah, he done screwed all of us. Oh man. If you got the money, Ted, you can do anything you want to do. As long as you got the money, you can do whatever you want to do. You can rule the world. Got that money. And they done promised to pay him some money now. You're gonna get some money. You're gonna get a share of that property that they're getting ready to make off of this bull.
So here's the thing: if they knock Elon out, they probably gonna have to give him about $200 or $300 billion.
No, they ain't gonna give him crap. He's gonna be sitting over there and everything. There is a commercial out, Ted, that most people have not seen, but they put it out. If you go on the YouTube and listen to all the little shows going on there every now and then, if you don't pay for that YouTube $10 fee and everything, you're gonna have a commercial coming on as you watching these shows. In these commercials and stuff and everything, there's a guy who's standing up outside of a building, a huge building. And he's telling these folks over here, that building behind me belongs to Elon Musk. And he is building a huge computer system and stuff inside that building.
That's for his AI.
Guess where he got all that data to go into that building from? Look out, people. See you guys tomorrow. Food for thought.